So the Accelerator Day is the day that we have launched the Must Be Zero design competition. It's a chance to bring together people that we think in the supply chain are really exciting and that can help us tackle the challenge of how to retrofit thousands of homes over the next couple of years to meet the demand that we've got from housing providers.
We're working on the Nottingham Crosswall projects, what the structure was, what the thermal properties of the building are, what the opportunities are to retrofit them, and then what the key challenges are. We took a 3D scan of the exterior of the building and then did the same on the interior, modelled the building as it stands, just to get the form and the shape and the massing. And then we were a little bit more intrusive in terms of finding out what the constructional materials were. So we created a full building information model of the existing property as a starting point. Then we did some environmental analysis, so we energy modelled the building, and then we began to overlay insulation and other technical measures just in order to see what was possible.
The key thing here was to look at it from a holistic approach and look at it from a fabric first approach. And once we've got that basis of efficiency, we could then look at the M&E systems that would support that. So for example, we could evaluate air source heat pumps versus ground source heat pumps, solar thermal, solar electric, and the quantity required. So looking at the energy modelling and looking at the archetype that we've got, the occupancy and the usage, that enabled us then to sort of prioritise the M&E systems. So for example, with these particular properties, when we evaluated things like MVHR systems, it wasn't an easy fit because the properties didn't lend themselves to it very well, and that capital cost could be used more efficiently with battery storage, for argument's sake.
I would say the fourth dimension for me, so it's the install process. So whilst our design is for an empty property as a pilot, we're looking at how this can be rolled out across hundreds of properties, many of which are occupied. And as they're a pair of flats, we've got to think of two families living in a house and how we can give the best possible install with the least upheaval. The system of overcladding, which can be done just in a few days without the need for the family to move out, I think for me is the most successful part of the idea. The next step is to trial one. So we're going to practice what we preach, we're going to install our system, we're going to measure it, we're going to, all being well demonstrated, does exactly what we've said it will, and then we're going to look at scaling up. So we've done one at a certain cost. How can we do 100? How can we do 1,000? How can we do 10,000? But also, how can we share our approach with others so that, provided we've done it right, everybody else is going to be doing it right?
I think for me it's all about the scaling up. Because I think while we're doing just the one property or a handful of properties, we don't get the true appreciation for the real sort of cost-cutting measures that we can put in place. And by doing that, we can lower the price point and open it up to a much sort of wider audience. And I think then we can get mass adoption. And for me, that's the kind of sort of main sort of target. So we can tackle those 2050 sort of challenges.